So today we got some confirmation emails that Trump had been hanging around with one of Epstein's victims for hours on end. Gee, I wonder what they were doing. These emails get released. I don't know what more proof do you need? Trump was told that he was in the files, and it was said that the FBI was going in and redacting his name from the files. You know, it's so silly. First, we're gonna release the files. And second, Trump's like, well, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. You know, there are some people that, you just don't want to upset right there, whose lives may be ruined. Trump is a selfish bastard who only cares about himself right there. So, again, that was just him telling on himself when he was in that Fox interview. And he was like, you want to be careful. You don't know you don't want to ruin people's lives. Again, the only life he cares about is his own right there. So it's literally, for crying out loud, his own fucking life right there. And then third, when they get the power, then they're like, listen, about those files, yeah, they don't exist. And then all of you out there in MAGA, you were actually starting to be like, wait a minute, what do you mean they don't exist? And then, because it was the very first time that MAGA out there actually began to question Donald Trump, Trump was losing his mind, because he's like, whoa, hang on, what the fuck is going on here? You're actually going to go out of your way and try to believe this radical left hoax lunatic Democrat plan about files and things like that? How dare you? You weren't MAGA, you were pretenders, you're not real, you're fakes. And then all of that's all that it took. And then you got yourselves to literally then just go out of your way and once again just second guess the victims. You're like, oh, why did the victims come out sooner, and things like that, the typical talking points that you always give right there. But Donald Trump, all you had to do was tell you, wait a minute, there's no files, and if you dare question me, you're just a Democrat. And all you did was be like, holy shit, I'm no Democrat. You were so scared to be taken out of MAGA that you just literally bowed down like you always do. And then you had time and time again that Democrats have tried to go to a voting session to release the files, and Republicans always were shutting that shit down. But now it's going to be given to a vote again. Adelina Grijalda, if I said her name correctly, great. If I did not, I apologize. She's going to be the 218th vote to to go to a vote to get those files released right there. And if you're about to see Republicans on their confirmation right there that they truly just want to hide the files, that's like, no, we don't want those files released. And I can guarantee you, if they vote to not release the files, their excuse is going to be like, look, we just want to protect the victim's secrecy. And it's like, wait a minute, the victims right now are making up their own list. They're making up their own files as well. They have said that they're going to make their own files, because if they're not going to do it, they're like, fuck it, we're going to do it ourselves then. So if Republicans vote and like, nah, we're not going to do it, they're like, we want to protect the victims out there, protect their safety and shit like that. And it's like, nope, nobody's playing that fucking game there, bros. Nobody's playing that game with you. Nobody's buying that bullshit. So again, Trump in the files. Do you need confirmation about it? I suppose if you want to make it into legal terms, but you can just use fucking common sense, can't you? But maybe sometimes common sense is kind of hard for some. I don't know. Anyways, Trump was found in these emails, and he's been told about himself in the files plenty of times. But the truth will come out one way or another. That truth will come out right there. And then you're all gonna have to out there who support Trump will have to figure out a way that you can then tell yourself, man, every time I called someone a pedo on social media, what am I going to do when I'm found out that I actually support a pedo? Holy fuck. Holy fucking deed. Holy fucking deed. But hey, just remember, Trump said smart people don't like him, so you can remain a fool and you can remain uneducated if you wish. But if you want to get smart, you can get smart. But just know, Trump won't like you very much then. He won't like you because he loves the poorly educated.